Remember, hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath. Go.
Good job. Come right back. One more time.
One
Real
more
quick.
time. One more time.
Lots of pushing here.
One more time. Come on.
Chin down.
Push, push, push,
Got
push.
it.
Go,
Come
go,
on,
go,
come
go,
on,
go.
come on,
Hard,
come
hard,
on,
hard,
come on,
hard,
come
hard.
on. It's almost baby time. Huge dramatic change from yesterday. Now dilated 4.5 centimeters as of about 2-3 hours ago. Almost baby time. She's on a lot of meds and in a lot of pain and tired. Baby boy is almost here by the grace of God. I love you so much.
Love you too, baby.
You got this.
What's good, YouTube? It's your girl Kiki and
Tony.
And we are back with another video. And today we are talking about the beautiful birth of our baby boy.
Yes, as y'all know, well, if y'all follow us on social media, then y'all know that we've had our baby boy. He's a month old now. He was born on August 21st at 10:11 p.m.
Yep.
And it was a long process. And today we're here with you to break down the story.
Literally, it was so traumatic, guys. Like, I can't even tell you the full story because he was there. He was my coach throughout all of it because it was crazy. So let's just start from the beginning. So I ended up getting induced on Sunday morning at 7 a.m. It was August 20th. And I was like, I would rather get an induction. That way he doesn't go overdue. So we went in for an induction at 7 a.m. that morning. And it started off good. Like, we were happy to have him. You know, this was my last time being pregnant, having my bump. So I ended up not eating very well that morning. So like, they were like, you can keep eating before we start the process. And I started to get on the yoga ball because I was like, can you bring me in a yoga ball? You know, I'm used to doing this at home, just trying to get him out, you know. Because when I got there, I was still 1 centimeter dilated. So he still was not ready to come. The first thing they started me off with was the pill. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's just a pill. They take it, you can either swallow it or they insert it.
They do it either orally or vaginally.
Yes, like you said. I think after that, we like waited like 4 hours to see if it would like do anything, and it didn't do anything. Of course, I was still 1 centimeter dilated.
After the pill made zero progress, she was still 1 centimeter dilated. Then they tried to do the balloon method, which is, if y'all don't know, they take a balloon and they fill it with some type of solution once they insert it into her. And basically what that's trying to do is manually dilate her so that she can have the baby. So they filled the solution up, and the nurses who did it, let's just take a step back. So the midwife who came in was some travel nurse that drove there from Houston. And the first thing she says when she walks in the room is, "Oh, hi guys, I bet you didn't know that you have a foreigner delivering your baby." I'm looking over, I'm like,
We're just looking like, oh, okay, that's the first thing you come and say to somebody? Like, you're not
What
you're not gonna say hello.
do that got to do with anything? So then from there, that automatically just made me just put my guard up with her, and I was just watching her and whatnot. So then they put in the balloon, this lady did, and while she was doing it, they're talking about
They were laughing,
everything
bro.
else, laughing, making jokes. She talking about, well, you know, you can do the Pitocin on top of this, according to studies, right? I'm like, she's talking about, well, I've never done it, but according to studies, you can do that. And I'm like, what the f? This is our first day in the hospital. So I'm like, okay. They fill the balloon up, and then this midwife leaves. We never seen her again. She leaves and goes back to whatever hotel she's at and does not come back to the hospital.
The reason why she's going back to a hotel, mind you, she's from Houston.
Some travel nurse.
Travel nurse.
So then the nurse who was in charge at the time, or whatever, was coming to our room and whatnot. You don't know how that go.
Yeah.
She was complaining, saying that she felt like too much pressure in there and that it was hurting. So then the nurse
so bad,
do like a little tug on it, and it, mind you, this has been a couple hours since it's been in there. She do a little tug on it.
I was like,
and it was like, it was not moving at all. So then she took a little bit of solution out and then yanked the balloon out.
Bro.
And that hurt her so bad.
Oh my gosh.
And then from there on out, she was like leaking a fluid out of her with blood. And I told the nurses, and they were saying that it's just a regular flow.
I kept telling my mom and him, I'm like, I feel like I'm peeing on myself. And usually when people say that, they're like, okay, did your water break? They didn't say anything. Like, I was just like, why does it feel like I'm just uncontrollably peeing, you know? I was leaking till the next day.
It was leaking all over the towels. I replaced like 5 towels and threw them in the bin. And these nurses on shift was not paying it no mind. So then the midwife ended up coming back and talking about how the balloon wasn't supposed to be removed and her nurses never do anything without asking her. And that's just all she was going on and on and on about. Her nurses don't do this and that without asking her first. And that she should have kept the balloon in.
Yeah.
And then she was saying, well, you have a couple options. I can go up there and manually slice the water and break it for you.
Or a C-section.
Oh, or a C-section. She's recommended as 2 options to go up there and slice. This is how
break
she
my water,
it.
literally.
Slice something and break the water, or we can get into a C-section so we can have this baby by tonight.
Or you can wait and do Pitocin all night until your nurse comes.
And then I'm like, my mindset is, you just trying to have, say you delivered a baby on your trip down here before you go back home. You don't really give a like she really trying to convince us to choose one of them 2 options. So I'm like, oh hell no. I made an executive decision and decided that we are not letting her do nothing, and that we gonna thug it out until the original midwife who's supposed to deliver the baby gets there in the morning. Yeah. So they have put her on the Pitocin. If y'all don't know what that is, that's some drug that has a mixed reviews on the reputation that it has, but we decided to give it a try based on the dosages and stuff that they suggested that they do, and it's safe and everything. So they was doing that, and it was more of a slow rolling thing.
On top of all this, I had got an epidural the first night, and
it was put in wrong.
It was put in wrong. How? You know? So I was feeling all those contractions. So that's why, like, the pressure with the balloon, it hurt so bad. Like, I was like, don't put a balloon in me ever again. Like, please don't, because I'm in so much pain right now, and the epidural should be working, right?
It had a rate that it automatically pumped into her per hour, but every 15 minutes I could do a micro dose of it if she was feeling the pain and needed like a little bit more to edge it off. Yeah. So I'm pressing the button, pressing the button, pressing the button.
I'm still
and it ain't doing shit. Like, she's still saying like she feeling everything. So then, mind you, this epidural issue was ongoing the whole first day they were in the hospital. So the same night, when I'm complaining to the nurses saying like this is really hurting her, I don't think this epidural doing nothing, she brushing it off. They come to check and see that the epidural wasn't placed correctly in her back. So I'm sitting there pressing it, going through multiple bags of this stuff, and it's shooting somewhere random in her body. It's not even going where it's projected to go. So they called a dude back who had put it in. He don't even work at the hospital. This some on-call motherfucker. They called him at like 2 in the morning. He came out of his sleep. The first time they put the epidural in, I had to hold her, and she had to sit with her back like this.
You guys know,
Yes. The second time when he had came in the middle of the night, she in the middle of the bed, just hunched over in the bed, like laying down like this.
Be still, be still.
And I'm like,
dude.
She don't gotta sit up. I asked him. He like, no, as long as it's placed in there correctly, it doesn't matter. So he put it in there. Yeah. The shit still wasn't working. She did like 3 bags of epidural over the next day or so, maybe day and a half. I don't know how long.
I literally, right before that, they gave me fentanyl.
Doped her up. Like, she was out of there. Yeah. And then what's crazy is...
That's not the only time either.
Man, this has been a journey so far. It's only like, I don't know how far we is into this video, but you can tell it was a crazy one. We had another nurse come in, and I told her about all the flow and everything in the morning time, and she went and ran tests on the dirty towels that I had said that we were keeping in the hamper, and it comes to find out the water broke a whole almost 24 hours prior, and no one paid it no mind. So this is a whole day of her water, like not fully broken, but it was like punctured a little bit and slowly leaking. So it's an open wound inside her body. It was collecting bacteria and doing all this and that, and they wasn't even addressing it in no type of way. After they found out that the water had broke a little bit, this is when her original midwife had came in and suggested trying the balloon method again. She put the balloon back inside her, and as soon as they went to fill it up with solution, her entire water just broke. Went everywhere. Yep. That was crazy.
Yeah.
So what had made it all worse with the epidural not working and just stirred everything up even more, they had a Pitocin cranked up to an 8. As it was described to us before, once it gets up to an 8, that's when it starts getting like a high, like a super high intensity level on how it's going. So they cranked it up to an 8, and she's telling me like, babe, I'm about to die.
Yeah,
going crazy, and I'm like,
kidding,
I can't do nothing for you, so I'm just watching her go through it, trying to get the nurses to get on it. All she got to say, she come look at the levels and everything, and all she got to say is her response to it is not normal. Like the process that we're following is normal, but this pain responses are not normal. So I'm like, okay, if the way she responded to it is not normal, then don't you think you should be checking
wrong.
something? Like turn this shit down. Like what are you doing? And at this point, I'm ready to just unplug this shit. But I'm like, okay, y'all do what you do. I'm not trying to get kicked out the hospital, so just give her a chance to do whatever. By the time they turn the Pitocin down and I'm talking to them, they come to check again and see that the epidural was placed incorrectly again.
Yeah.
So then they have another guy come in, and he's from another part of the hospital, not even a labor and delivery. At least he actually works at the hospital, and he points out to me that both spots that the epidural was placed were incorrect. So he put it in correctly for the last time, and this time you could tell it was working because when I'm pressing the button, it's actually giving it to her. She's not feeling pain.
For the second epidural, one of my legs were numb. For the third one, both were completely numb. I was like, I can't feel anything, and it actually felt like it was working, literally. I'm like, finally.
Sorry about that, our camera died on us, so now we are using the iPhone camera. So if it looks a little different, that's why. At this point, she's dang near unconscious.
Because I got fentanyl again before that epidural.
And I had to dang near beg them to give her that because at the point that they did that, she still had the Pitocin pumping. They never stopped it, never lowered it, nothing. Nope. And they were trying to just straight reinsert the epidural into her back while she just
limp,
basically having a natural contractions with the Pitocin cranked up to an 8 at the same time.
And you ladies know, when you get Pitocin, that literally makes the contractions 1,000 times worse. So
intensifies it.
I'm feeling it all. I'm still feeling it all.
So then, this is where the craziness comes in. Honestly, this hospital, Seton Medical Center in Harker Heights, Texas, is the absolute worst place we could have chose to have this baby. You better off going to an urgent care. Putting the epidural in wrong 2 times. You could have gave me a little booklet that come with these baby toys to put together, and I could have put the shit in wrong if that's what we was gonna do. But we're gonna go past that a little bit. Me being me, I'll go on Google with some common sense, and it tells me, you know, most times Google's bad, but this actually helped me in a situation because I read that most women can go from 1 centimeter to fully dilated in 1 day once that baby is ready to come out. So that's the mindset I got. I go out, I'm praying, just believing that everything is gonna work out how it's supposed to work out. So then
I remember at like 5 o'clock, I was 9 centimeters, and then they were like, okay, we're gonna give you that peanut ball. I don't know if you guys know what that is, like a shape of a peanut, and it's the form of a yoga ball, but it's shaped like peanut. And they put it between my legs. That's like the last thing I remember, guys. And that was at 5 o'clock. Mind you, I didn't have him until 10 that day. And I kept telling them, I said I can feel him down there, but like when I had just got that epidural, I'm like, how do I know though? Like if he's about to come, like, cause I literally cannot feel my lower half. So how do you know it's time to push? You know what I'm saying? Cause my water heater broke. I was 9 centimeters and I felt pressure. They were just like, you're gonna feel pressure. I'm like, I do feel pressure. Like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that happened.
Keep in mind, we forgot to tell y'all this part. Prior to all this being 9 centimeters dilated and everything, her water breaking early and not being cared for caused an infection inside of her body, which was, I think, your white blood cell counts dropped.
Yeah.
And so basically the natural cells you have in your body that fight off, you know, viruses and germs and stuff like that, her cell count had dropped.
And
so
I got a fever from it.
She got a fever while in labor.
Yeah.
On top of there being some type of swelling down there or whatever, so the lady claimed she couldn't feel the real accuracy of how much she dilated or whatnot. She says that we are waiting on the contraction to spike and the baby's heart rate to spike down, showing that he's being basically suffocated or some shit in there, which never happened. Time ticks on. They're not doing nothing. They gave her a Benadryl before it was time to go into labor, claiming that's going to slow down the swelling and help with whatever. This Benadryl, you know what Benadryl do? That shit knocked her out. So she's basically unconscious for a couple hours. Speaking of the baby is waking up. So I guess you can come in the video with us.
His first appearance. So I got the Benadryl. Don't even know like where I'm at on the spectrum. Like I'm so serious. I just remember my mom, she took this video of me. I had these boots on my legs, but it was because of the swelling in my feet. It was so bad. That's why they gave me the Benadryl, was to make the swelling go down as well as bring my fever down, right? Or for the infection. And then I got woken up saying it's time to push. And the only reason they proceeded to do this was because you came in and was like, we need to do this. Like,
I told her, I said,
she is literally like,
it don't make no sense that the last time y'all checked how dilated she was 4 p.m. on a whole different nurse's shift, and she was 9 centimeters.
9.
It's now, I think it was like 9:38, 9:38 at night when I told them all this, and I'm like, y'all need to make something shake right now. Like, check, do something. Y'all just sitting around, and she looking like she on her deathbed, like she's fully unconscious right now, off of Benadryl, infection, fever, swelling, all types of shit going on, and y'all ain't doing nothing. So then she checks, oh wow, there's a baby's head right there. Like, no, why you ain't checked this hours ago? If I wouldn't have said nothing, who knows what they would have did.
Probably wouldn't have had until the morning on some crazy stuff.
Yes.
For real. Like, they did not care at all. And that's the sad part about this whole story, because like, I felt so freaking drugged. Like, I'm here to have a baby, like, and y'all not even taking care of me. Like, I'm a first-time mom. We're first-time parents, and we're young. Like, come on. Like,
that's what makes it even worse, because you don't know what to expect.
It's so sad.
And then when they do everything just all messed up like that, on top of you not knowing what to expect, that shit just throws
it's
you
a
off.
lot.
Like,
Let's get into the better part. So it's 10. No, it's like 9:30. Yeah, like 38, 9:40. And they're like, okay, time to push. So they set me up, and then we did some like practice pushes. And then they gave me these bars to hold on to at the end, like to help me push. And that helped so much instead of like holding like family's arms and stuff. So I got the bars, I pushed. In those moments, I'm like, I can't do this, guys. Like, because I was still so super drugged. I haven't eaten in 30-something hours, so I have no energy. And I'm thirsty. Like, I was so parched. I swear. He comes easily in 30 minutes. Yeah.
as soon as his head came out, his whole body just...
Whoop. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say nothing on that. We're gonna pop the clip up somewhere around here for y'all to see just how real it got.
Yeah.
Quick.
Yeah.
It got real with the quickness.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're gonna pop that up somewhere around here.
You had him.
Yep.
Okay. Oh my god.
900.
There you go. A little more crying for me would be good.
Oh, you did it. Oh,
Made him that way so he could fit through, okay? So that will all go
Alright,
down
so
on
you're
its
gonna
own.
cut right there.
right here.
Yep, perfect. There you go. Good job.
You had him.
Please.
But man, once he was
His
born,
emotions, my emotions, everybody's emotions in the room. It was just a very special moment. Finally, he was here after all those hours of all that going on. So,
days of all that
yes,
going on.
yes.